Alrighty, we're back at this again. In case you couldn't tell. Let's zoom in here a bit. Alright, so I still gotta loosen these lower bolts down here rather than nuts. Although on the other one, this whole stud came out, so we're gonna have to see what's gonna happen with that one. All the bolts on the intake manifold are loosened up, and I've been spraying it with WD-40, and there's already pretty much copious amounts of oil. I should just have to whack that really hard, and it should separate from the engine block, I think. I'm not sure why it hasn't just fallen off, honestly, but we're going to see where I can get right now. Once I do a lot of this is I don't have a whole lot of space for organization, but apparently there was one bolt right here that was, that's a long bolt. Let's see if she will come off, you piece of junk. Shouldn't be anything holding it. Removed all the bolts and all of the nuts. So probably, oh, there we go. Oh, Jesus. I don't know what the hell any of that is. Yep. That looks like that's full of crap. I wonder if that's one of the many reasons it was smoking so hard. Oh, yeah. Just a little bit further along now. That'll be prettier to look at the exhaust manifold as they fight with it next. But there is progress. Looks like there's water and milky-ish, so it was definitely getting coolant into the intake as well. Hopefully those seals I got are going to help fix that up. Let's see where we get with the exhaust manifold. Okay, so the exhaust manifold bolts, or rather those two nuts, are still being extremely stubborn. So I soaked them in some more penetrating fluid, and by the way, I'm using the actual penetrant one. I find that actually works better. I'm going to try to take off these delicate oil metering pump hoses, since I need to have them off anyway, and it's a bit cold out, so I want to kind of get out of here for tonight. I think tomorrow I have not a blowtorch, but a tiny little lighter that does pretty good. I'm going to try to heat those bolts up, or at least the area surrounding them, and see what that does. The only way I can access them is with a open-ended wrench, and even then I can't get a good enough angle. You can't even see that well enough, but I can't get a good enough angle without it just camming off of it. And that's supposed to be a wrench that fits it well, because I was able to test with the other bolts and nuts, or actually all this nuts on this, to make sure that it fit good. So for this, looks like I just need to take off those 4 banjo bolts. I'm pretty sure they're banjo bolts. You literally just follow along through and up. There's little clips securing them. Once I have them undone down there, I'll unbolt that. Unbolt this weird looking bracket, which looks like it's being held on with just these 2 bolts. And then disconnect these. So let's see how that goes. So those are an interesting little technological marvel. Basically a rubber hose goes on the end there. This atomizes the oil into the chamber, and that's it. It was a little bit tricky getting these off. Basically, as soon as I cracked it loose, barely took any effort on most of these. The banjo wanted to go with it. As I mentioned, these are decently fragile and hard to come by. So I did that, and I sprayed it all down with WD and kind of let that get on there on this little copper face. There might actually be a washer just fused to it now. Once that happened, I'll zoom in a bit. Once that happened, it loosened it up, and then I was able to come over here and just like this one, screw it straight out. The rubber hoses on here were pretty stiff, and they weren't just pulling off. So what I did for those was I took a flathead, and I came up here, I got under the hose and just barely took anything, and then it popped right off. It popped loose anyway. I was able to pull it straight off after that. So, one step closer. I'm going to try to put these little fragile bits somewhere. I have zero organizational skills when it comes to this. This is the first engine I'm really tearing down by any means. But I think things are going pretty well so far. So, there's that list little bit right there. That bolt is undone. These guys are undone. So this should be able to push forward. These guys can just lift off. And there goes my mess of spaghetti. I It's gonna sit there for a long time. I wouldn't say it's one of the last things to go back on, but it's gonna be a while before it does go back on. So, oh, those are washers. I should pick those up before they fly away. Little copper washers. I'll try to get some replacements for those. In the meantime, I'm gonna save them because I'm gonna need them for the diameter. Okay, that one's stuck on pretty good. So is that one. Screwdriver to the rescue. Ooh. At least I saved a couple of them. There we go. A little bit of torque. Comes right off. I don't think I'm finding that other one anytime soon. Okay. I'm still surprised that they spray painted this thing, this silver. Because underneath of it, I'm pretty sure that's aluminum. Do I have a magnet anywhere nearby? I think I do. Yeah. There's this one. Works pretty well. I'm pretty sure that these pieces are maybe aluminum. Absolutely nothing. And then that piece is cast iron. But this piece, nothing. These are aluminum. That's cast iron. Why did they paint the aluminum? I don't get that. That sounds like an extra step. Underneath of it looks like a decent enough finish. I don't understand why they would have done that. It's going to rack my brain for a while, but I'm probably going to... I could probably pressure wash that paint straight off of it, honestly. I think I might try to paint, or clean up and then paint the cast iron. I might get some nice, I'll stick with red, but engine enamel, and we'll see how that looks. That being said, I'm going to have to wait till tomorrow to play with the exhaust manifolds by using heat. I think I'm going to leave the clutch on for a bit. No reason to really take that off quite yet until I get this front part disassembled. I think that is going to be my next goal. Attacking things like water pump, which I had to take the pulley off of in order to access other components. I think literally the water pump pulley is the last thing that's going to go on. But I literally have a bolt there, a bolt there, bolt down there, there. Okay, so I got a few. So I'm going to zip those off, and you guys will see what that looks like here in a second. And I got a couple bolts over here and one over here for whatever this is. I don't... Oh, wait, this is for the coolant. Okay. So, yeah, I'll take this off, and we'll see what the water pump looks like. All right, I'm almost certain this is going to make a mess. Well, now it's going to make a mess. Oh, there we go. Cracked it loose. Find somewhere decent to put that. Oh, yeah. Gonna leak coolant Oh, yeah. There we go. That actually looks like it's in pretty good condition. There's a little smudge of something out there. I think I can clean that off pretty easily, though. The rest of this is beautiful. I almost thought that was CNC'd, but no. It's all original. There is that. Nothing worth noteworthy there. So next I'm going to take off, I don't even know what to call that thing, but it's only got a couple bolts on. So, that was my gasket for the, I just said it a second ago. I don't know why that keeps escaping me. Oil metering pump. There we go. So yeah, I'll take this off next. Wow, those bolts did not want to come off. There we go. Oh, that's a thermostat. I'm going to have to tear that to replace that. I was wondering where it's going to be on an engine like this. A little bitty gasket. I think I have a replacement, but I'm going to keep both of my gaskets until I'm sure I have a replacement or I order one. And that being said, that is now open. Okay, I just noticed that this is a very interesting shape. Please tell me there's a gasket for this specifically. Is this on it? Yes, there's a gasket on it right now. Oh, God. Oh, I did RTV it on. Oh, I hate these people already. Nothing gives you more disdain for somebody than working on somebody else's previous projects. There we go. Get some of that RTV off. Yeah. Yeah, that's an interesting one. I don't know how that got past quality control. Looks size accurate for Asia. Anyway, I'll have to clean up all these surfaces. That's going to take a hot minute. What's next? This right here should be the oil metering pump itself. So those two bolts, one there, and that's it. So I'll zip those off and we'll see what it looks like. Alrighty, more mess. Nope. That is basically where the soon adapter goes, though, and it cuts this off from feeding up from the oil pan. Basically, normally it would take it from that little hole there. The soon adapter comes with a kit to plug that up and then feed in your own from your own oil reservoir. The rest of this can pretty much stay the same for the time being, however. I still need to do a little bit more research on that to figure it out. I am trying to go along and put most of the bolts back into the holes where they come from, because I'm not likely to remember all of it. But when I go to put this whole thing back together, I am pretty much not going to leave a hole without a bolt. It feels like the best way to go about it. I haven't lost any yet. It's kind of weird that this only gets held on by 3. It's cold out. Alrighty. And my back's hurting. So there is that. At this point, I should be able to pull off the front cover after I unbolt it. It's kind of weird to do that without having taken off the exhaust manifold yet. There we go. Okay, let us have a block of wood I'm rotating this on. It is getting slightly easier the more it gets coated with shit, so it's a benefit, I guess. I'm pretty sure I need to take the oil pan off, however, before I can take off the front cover. This one is going to be a bit of a pain on that bolt. Do I need to take off this pulley? I don't think so. We're going to leave that on for now. Here's our cam sensor. Whew. Anything on the back? Nope. Absolutely nothing on that side to worry about. It's pretty much a service side, basically, because obviously right up there you have your oil filter. You got your 4 spark plugs, which is your trailing and leading. And that's it. A couple more sensors for random stuff, but yeah, it's straightforward over there. I swear I'm not dying yet. I'm going to have to do some research to figure out how to get this exhaust manifold off. I'm starting to think I need some kind of special tool. There's no way I'm getting an impact on those. I just tried even with my shortest socket that'll fit, which is 14 millimeter. There's no way I'd be able to. There's no combination of extensions or of swivels that'll allow me to get access to that. So that is the tensioner pulley, which is a bit peculiar. Oh, there's 2 tensioner pulleys because this uses 2 belts. So the first tensioner on the on the inner one is actually the alternator. You can adjust that, and then this one is the inner tensioner pulley. So I can actually go ahead and zip that off because it looks like it's using 10s. Nope, it's using 12s. Nope, took off more than I wanted. There's it. One-handed shop work. Headphone warning. You know what? I don't think that actually needs to come off. So we're probably going to go ahead and leave. Yeah, it's attached to the front plate. It doesn't need to come off. That's dumb. So we're going to go ahead and leave that. Sorry for the ear destruction. I have 1 bolt down here. I have 1 bolt down here and here and here. There's 1 in that little hole. There's 1 up there in that little hole. And I'm probably going to need to undo this one. And then this front plate should come off. Of course, maybe after taking out the oil pan. Not sure. I feel like finding out the hard way. Oh, no, there's bolts coming up from it. So yeah, we need to take out at least those bolts from the oil pan. So I think, honestly, the next step, I pretty much definitely have to get the exhaust manifold off. Once I get that off, this side is done. I can take off the oil pan. Actually, I'll probably take off the pressure plate and clutch, and then I'll take off the oil pan. And then I should be ready to start trying to separate the block. Yippee. This is going to be it for today. I think I will try to come back out here tomorrow. That way you guys get a bit more substantial of a video on this. And that way it also doesn't take me another year in order to make any progress. So I'll see you guys in a second your time. It'll be a day my time. Peace. So, and I said, you know, torch. This is the dollar store looking thing that I picked up. Let me check it. It's got some in it. Let's see if I can do this without setting everything on fire. Okay, somehow I don't think that's gonna do what I needed to do. But we're gonna find out. Should be able to, I can actually zoom in for you guys. Should be able to heat up the nut, and then that should expand it to some degree. And then I should be able to half-assedly get the wrench, the opening of the wrench on there. I think it's just starting to smoke, so I gotta pay attention to this. So the little flame that couldn't, but thankfully it didn't burn down the garage. So you know how you're supposed to take out spark plugs? You know how... yeah. That's how you take out spark plugs. What did they have in here? Oh, they had one of these weird ones. Ooh, there's stuff on the end of that. So that was in the, I don't know if that's supposed to be leading or trailing. Depends on how you look at the ending, really. Oh, they're actually different. That's good. They're supposed to be. Ooh, this one was dry. It's only this one that was leaking, so maybe it's only the oil control ring or some of the gaskets in there. Dry as well. Nice, nice. Alright. I think at this point I could probably flip this thing over on its side. Nah, I should try to take off some of that stuff first. This banjo bolt will be fine. It's getting cold out here. I don't think I need to take out that pipe looking thing, but I could take off the oil filter redistribution doodad, whatever you want to call it. So we'll have that off here in a second. I just got 2 bolts to do on this one, and it'll be good to go. Oh, those are easy. Just try to wiggle that free in there. Try to wiggle that free in there. Oil everywhere. I don't know. I feel like there's supposed to have been a gasket there. Maybe there is still. Got a screwdriver in here somewhere. Yeah. There's a gas. That went flying. Look at that clean mating surface. Now, this is the one of the other pieces I'm curious about. Too much on this, Jesus. If it's supposed to be there, it's supposed to be there, but damn. This is definitely the wrong way to do this. I think we're gonna leave that there. There we go, give it a little bit of spritz. Now we're gonna put this thing on its side so I can more easily access the exhaust manifold, at least, I mean, because it's literally just the bottom 2 bolts. Because aside from that, I need that off, and then the oil pan, and then we could start disassembling the big-ass Lego block. So, I'll have this on its side here in a second. Minor coolant mess, that's going to be a pain to clean up. But she's on her side. I should pull half of this stuff out of the crap. There we go. So, from here I can actually access the oil pan, which is not resting on. I can get that off. And the oil pickup tube. That way I don't crush it when I put it back down. Could better access those bolts somewhat. Access is a very subjective term at this point. You can actually see the rod that holds the engine together. It goes through this block, no space through, no space through. And then, is that actually a nut? I think it is. So that'll be interesting. Unfortunately, I don't think it's in my way, because if it was, I'd be able to just pull it out of the way and still access that. Damn. So yeah, I'm still gonna be fighting those things. I almost feel like this was welded on. Like they bolted the plate on super fucking tight, and then they welded on the exhaust, and then they called it good, because I can't see how they went about it any other way, honestly. Unless there's some weird specialty tool to get in there for that. Even a really shallow socket wouldn't work. I have a couple crow's feet, but you can't get the open end of a wrench over that anyway, so the crow's feet won't help. And it's raining outside. Wonderful. So, I guess from here I can go ahead, zip off the oil pan. So we'll see what that looks like here in a second. Wow, that was a lot of bolts. I'll zip straight off with the impact though, and there's a copious amount of RTV also currently still holding this pan on. So that's gonna be fun to deal with as well. Yeah, literally a pile of 10mm bolts. How bad will it be? Actually, you know what? We're gonna do a differential trick. We're gonna take one of these, we're gonna pop it up here and thread it in like a couple threads, and then pop it open. It's probably still gonna leak everywhere, but I gotta clean up the mess from the coolant anyway. Aside from me not knowing where a good place to wrench on this is, that thing's pretty stuck on. Get a sharper screwdriver over here. Almost need to use a razor blade, Jesus. How do I go about this? Alright, I'm gonna have to beat on this with the hammer. I'll be right back. Alright, that broke the time lock seal. Jesus. This is gonna be a little bit difficult to put back on proper. Oop, yep, there's more oil. Milky oil too, interesting. I don't have a way of soaking that up. Oop, wait, there's a rag. Come on, rag. Still gotta get through the other side. Oh, that's covered in oil. Is it free? At this point, we can undo that bolt, which I think as I do, the whole thing's going to try to drop. Hold on for dear life, people. Okay, something's still holding on. Wow. There we go. Ooh. So coolant did mix with the oil. Jesus, that smells like paint. That's not good. Couldn't see it by checking the oil or by checking the coolant. I'll pick it feet straight into the pan. Okay. I was like, wait, there's supposed to be something else here. Whew. Yeah, there's not a lot going on these things, which is a bit interesting. Everything looks decently clean, however. I don't see any metal shavings, and that's kind of the important part. Let's go ahead and zip off the oil pickup. in. Take that bolt out. Fling it all about. There we go. Cool. Looks like there's some stuff gunking up the passageway for the oil pickup too, so I'll be able to clean all that out. Literally only one timing related thing in here. Oh, that's a bit loose actually. I'll have to take a look at that. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be loose or not. Let me grab another rag. While I'm in here, I might as well replace that if that is going to be a problem, because this is the only thing, and all that it does is drive the oil metering pump. So it might not need to be perfectly timed or perfectly taut. It's nothing like that. That being said, this is pretty much going to be the position this is going to sit until I can figure out something to do for those nuts, or even the studs. Could get a bigger torch. That would almost definitely work. I don't have the capability nor the desire to go, it can't be tight if it isn't, or what is it, if it's liquid it can't be tight. I can't think properly. I remember the saying off the top of my head. It can't be tight if it's liquid. That's what it is. But yeah, so I will see you guys when I have a solution for this. That being said, that'll probably be the end of the update for this Sunday. You guys have a very Merry Christmas. Stay safe out there on the roads. Have a good one. Peace.